Hi everybody, Neon here of course. It has been a little over 4 weeks since the accident that took me off the Appalachian Trail, and I'm feeling well enough to drive up to North Carolina and do some support for my Tramily, which has been hiking on without me. Been driving on the interstate a couple hours. Got off on a little highway here. It's been raining the whole time. Kind of stressful raining, driving with lots of traffic. Worried about being in an accident. Did see a couple of accidents that looked pretty bad. So far I'm okay. About to get some coffee and some protein. This is the Hemlock Hollow Hostel, and I'm looking to see if I can find somebody that I recognize in any of these little cabins. The bunkhouse has a warning about no liability for an injury or to a death of a participant in an agritourism industry conducted at this agritourism location by this active agritourism. This is the bunkhouse where my folks are staying and where I will spend the night. Real exciting. Let's see what they've got going on here. There's Mosey. There's Shadow's bunk. Is up there, and my bunk is going to be down there. Morning of day 185. Just finished some pancakes here at the Hemlock Hollow Hostel, and I'm going to drive the folks a couple miles up to the trailhead, and they're going to walk. Hopefully the rain will stop soon. Well, here we are at the Appalachian Trail. They're loading up and take off into the woods. I'll see them in a few hours at the end of the day, actually. Took me about 25 minutes to drive over here to the Appalachian Trailer, and I've got us a 4-bunk bunk room for tonight and tomorrow night if needed. 25 minutes for me, 7 or 8, maybe 9 hours for hikers. The little white car is gonna take me down and get a little bite to eat, and then I'm gonna try to drive up into the mountains, make sure that I can get to Max Patch parking lot early in the morning tomorrow while it's still dark. I'm gonna drive up there today, take about an hour, maybe 45 minutes. I'll head back to Hot Springs now instead. Tell you what though, this windy road business with turning the steering wheel back and forth is stressing out my chest a little bit. It doesn't really hurt like I'm being stabbed or anything, but it's definitely working some muscles that are complaining. Now I got to do it all over again, except going downhill this time. I am currently walking on the Appalachian Trail next to the French Broad River, the other side of the river from Hot Springs. The trail goes right through town, so I walk through downtown, and over here along the river the trail's nice and flat. I'm going to see if one of my friends pops out of the woods here before it gets too steep. It is the next day, and we are at the Max Patch parking lot trailhead thing. These folks are going to hike a little over 20 miles to get back to Hot Springs today. If all goes according to plan. It is just about 8 o'clock right now, so it's going to be a long, chilly day for them. Probably about 45 right now here, but the wind is not particularly pleasurable. There they go. We're gonna hike up over that max patch right there. I had thought about hiking the first mile with them, but I think I would just slow them down at this point, and being so cold, I think they want to move as fast as they can. Plus with the long distance that they've got to travel. So much for backpacking Neon on this video, huh? Tomorrow we'll be back here and they will hike south. So on the drive back to the Appalachian Trailer, I went by the market and got some ribeyes and some salad that I'll cook for dinner tonight. I'm pretty much just laying here in my bunk and maybe eat some lunch soon, but I'm gonna take a zero myself. I pulled the cripple card and took a bottom bunk. And there's 4 bunks in this room. And a window. Once again at the Max Patch trailhead. And it's about 37 degrees and chance of rain today. So I'm sure they're gonna have a good hike. There's a little white car. I am at Standing Bear Hostel here. Got a bathhouse of sorts over there. I understand one of the showers is working. They had a bad rainstorm a couple months ago and there was another flood here. This is the big cabin where we've got reserved for tonight. There's 4 beds in here and a gas heater, which is nice. So I guess there's 2 big beds here, and then there's 2 twin beds up in the loft. And there's a bunkhouse and a kitchen area. It's not heated. And then the main house, which is where the owner lives. It's apparently still going through a lot of renovations. I guess when it flooded, it was, my guess is this creek flooded, and that's pretty wild. That creek goes right underneath the cabin that we're in. Yeah, that's what it's the morning of the next day at Newfound Gap in the Smoky Mountains. I dropped them off about 9:30, I think we got here, after driving an hour and a half from Standing Bear Hostel. I am leaving Newfound Gap. I have dropped off the Tramily. They are going to hike north from here back to Standing Bear Farms Hostel. They have 2 nights worth of food. It is 32 degrees right now here at about 10 a.m. Winds are blowing pretty hard. It feels like gusts maybe up around 45, 50 miles an hour. So it's really unpleasant. I hope they stay safe tonight. Find a nice place to camp. Hope they have the shelter that's out of the wind. Yeah, so my little video here wasn't the most interesting because all it was me dropping them off at trailheads and whatnot, but it's sort of an update on what I'm doing. Maybe in a couple weeks I'll come back and slack pack them, or maybe even hike myself. So that ends the adventure. See you next time. Thanks for watching.